We often think of battles as something fought with swords, armies, and strength. But Islam teaches us that the hardest battle is not fought on a battlefield. It is fought within ourselves. This is the struggle against the nafs, the inner self that constantly pulls us toward desire, pride, and heedlessness. The nafs whispers excuses when it's time to pray, urges us toward anger when patience is needed, and tempts us with sins disguised as pleasures. Left unchecked, it can quietly destroy our spiritual progress. Yet, if mastered, it becomes the key to true peace and closeness to Allah. This is why scholars call it the greatest struggle, a fight that every believer must face daily. In this video, we'll explore what the nafs is, how it challenges us, and most importantly, how we can take control before it controls us. 1. The nafs represents the raw impulses and inclinations of a person, often pulling toward instant gratification and unchecked desires. It can manifest in subtle ways, such as craving comfort when effort is required, or in more destructive forms, like pride, envy, and indulgence in worldly pleasures without restraint. Left unchecked, it clouds judgment and weakens the heart's connection to Allah. The nafs thrives on distraction, feeding off constant wants and dissatisfaction. Recognizing these patterns is the first step in disciplining it. When a believer becomes aware of the nafs' hidden influence, they begin to see how it quietly shapes thoughts and actions. 2. Controlling the nafs is considered one of the hardest battles in Islam because it is a constant, lifelong struggle. Unlike external enemies, the nafs resides within and cannot be escaped or ignored. Its pull is persistent, urging a person to compromise values for fleeting comfort or desires. This battle requires vigilance as the nafs changes forms, sometimes subtle, sometimes forceful, making it unpredictable. It is not defeated once and for all, but demands ongoing resistance. The difficulty lies in maintaining consistency, especially when worldly attractions are strong. Victory in this struggle brings inner peace and aligns the heart closer to obedience. 3. The Prophet, Salallahu Alayhi Wasalam, emphasized that true strength is not about overpowering others physically, but about exercising control over one's own reactions, especially in moments of anger. Anger often clouds reason and leads to words or actions that cause regret and harm. Restraining oneself in such a state requires discipline, patience, and reliance on Allah. This teaching shifts the definition of strength from external dominance to internal mastery. A person who can silence the urge to retaliate or lash out demonstrates resilience of character. Such control preserves relationships, safeguards dignity, and nurtures humility, making it a profound form of strength. 4. Scholars describe the struggle against the nafs as Jihad al Nafs, the greatest form of striving. Unlike outward battles that may end with victory or defeat, this inner jihad continues for as long as a person lives. It encompasses resisting harmful inclinations, refining one's character, and nurturing sincerity in worship. The greatness of this struggle lies in its depth. It tests one's patience, perseverance, and devotion in private, away from recognition. By engaging in this inner jihad, a believer cultivates self-awareness and gradually purifies the heart. Such refinement brings clarity, steadiness, and a stronger bond with Allah's guidance and mercy. 5. The nafs often works by creating subtle diversions from acts of worship, particularly during prayer and remembrance of Allah. A person may feel sudden restlessness, intrusive thoughts, or the urge to delay, even though these moments are meant for peace and focus. Such distractions weaken concentration, and reduce the sweetness of devotion. Seeking knowledge equips a believer with clarity to distinguish between fleeting desires and lasting truths. Dhikr, the remembrance of Allah, constantly renews awareness of His presence, leaving less room for heedlessness. Together, these practices form a shield against the subtle pull of the nafs, fostering self-mastery and spiritual resilience in daily life. 7. Every act of resisting temptation for Allah's sake strengthens the believer's inner core and gradually diminishes the influence of the nafs. Each moment of self-restraint, whether avoiding harmful speech, lowering the gaze, or choosing honesty over deceit, leaves a lasting mark on the soul. These victories accumulate quietly, building spiritual stamina, much like exercise strengthens the body. With time, the believer finds it easier to say no to impulses that once felt overwhelming. The nafs loses its hold when it is consistently denied control, while the soul gains clarity, discipline, and a deeper sense of closeness to Allah. 8. In Islam, success is measured not by outward achievements, but by the state of the heart and its obedience to Allah. Mastering the self allows a believer to rise above pride, greed, and the endless chase for worldly gains. Wealth, status, and influence may impress people, but they hold no weight if the soul remains enslaved to desire. True honor comes from sincerity, humility, and steadfastness in faith. By subduing the nafs, one discovers freedom from constant dissatisfaction and experiences contentment rooted in Allah's pleasure. This inner triumph is the real victory, far greater than material accomplishments. Controlling the nafs is not easy, but every step we take in this struggle brings us closer to Allah and further from the traps of this world. Remember, real strength is not in conquering others, but in conquering ourselves. If this video reminded you of that inner battle, please like, share, and subscribe to Purpose Deen for more content that nourishes the soul. May Allah grant us all victory over our nafs and fill our hearts with sincerity, peace, and guidance. Comment below. Ya Allah, help me master my nafs and draw closer to you.